I've always been unlucky. I just fell into a filthy ditch, and as soon as I got up, I got run over by a car. From the car emerged a pair of elegantly dressed parents from a wealthy family. My son, we finally found you. Before my mother could finish her sentence, she saw me covered in dirt and took several steps back in shock. My father, standing next to her, twitched his lips and signaled to the driver. Clean him up first, then take him to the Liu family. They turned and left, as if they were afraid of any further interaction with me. They feared I was a jinx, especially since my closest adoptive parents had met a tragic end. The driver stood frozen, unsure whether to touch me or to let me in the car. At that moment, a woman stepped out of another Maybach. Willow, the adopted daughter of the Liu family patriarch, and the most prominent figure among the younger generation. You're the infamous jinx from a city. This unlucky body. I don't believe it. With a dismissive expression, she grabbed me and started walking. As we entered the house, I immediately spotted Makoto, pinching his nose with a look of utter disdain. I couldn't hide my excitement. So, this is the fake young master who's been changing luck with me for the past 18 years. Chapter 1. As soon as we entered the hall, a massive crystal chandelier came crashing down. Makoto was standing right there, only a centimeter away from being hit. The rumors were true. You're really a jinx. Dad, Mom, get him out of here. Makoto's voice trembled, but his eyes were filled with no fear. His parents, who came rushing out at the sound, looked utterly shocked. I shrugged and said, if you don't want me here, should I just leave? I wasn't bothered by his threats. Don't listen to him. My mother was panicked, but her body was cautious, not daring to come too close to me. 10 years ago, both families realized they had switched the babies, but rumors had it that I brought bad luck. People around me would either lose things or face disasters. One of my playmates was abducted by thugs, beaten half to death, only for them to realize they had grabbed the wrong person. On the highway, a truck overturned, causing a chain collision of more than 10 cars. My adoptive parents were in one of those cars, but only they were crushed to death, their bodies gruesomely mangled. The Liu family didn't dare claim me, only sending a bit of money. After the Liu family started declining, the old patriarch insisted on taking me in before his death. He even said that when I turned 18, half of his fortune would be mine. That's when my parents were forced to take me back. My mother forced a smile and said, George, Makoto is just a little scared, and the house lights are old. Don't be upset. I didn't speak, my gaze scanning her waist where a safety talisman was hanging. Makoto has prepared a room for you. He said he'll take you there. With that, she quickly dragged my father away, as if fleeing from something. I turned my gaze back and noticed the windows and doors of the house were covered with talismans. I kind of want to laugh, and I actually laughed out loud. Makoto thought I was laughing at him. With an angry face, he led me to the end of the first floor. He opened the door, and inside was a bathroom. Makoto crossed his arms, looking at me with disdain in his eyes. To be honest, why would a jinx come back home? You're so dirty. You deserve to stay in the bathroom. He didn't miss a single expression of mine, wanting to see me in humiliation. I waved it off casually. Fine, I don't mind. Willow entered the room, and when she saw this, her face darkened. She called for her parents, pointing at them and scolding them. The company's not doing well now, and every move is under scrutiny. And now you're making the news for abusing your own son. Are you trying to make your life even harder? Willow's face was cold, her tone stern. Her parents and Makoto shrank their necks, not daring to speak. There was nothing they could do. Willow's status was so high that even the Liu family feared her iron-fisted approach. I casually cleaned my ears, gazing out the window, feeling somewhat envious. Rich people really know how to enjoy life. At that moment, my phone rang with messages coming one after another. I took it out and casually replied to one. Willow glanced at it from the corner of her eye, then quickly turned away. She continued to scold the others, and only when she was exhausted did she take me upstairs. This will be your room from now on. If you're missing anything, just let me know. I looked around, and this room was fully equipped, just like a master bedroom. Makoto limped up behind us, standing at a distance, looking pitifully at Willow. And, as soon as he walked in, he made me hurt my leg. Just as he finished speaking, I deliberately walked closer to him. He jumped back in fright, immediately running downstairs. Willow's expression darkened even more. Makoto's embarrassed look made me laugh out loud. Weren't you supposed to be the family's lucky star? The koi fish who brings good fortune? Why are you so scared of me? Chapter 2. Jinx. Whoever gets close to you is doomed. Stay away from me. Makoto's face turned pale, trembling as he pointed at me. I sighed. Those are just rumors. My adoptive parents had a gambling problem and owed money. To escape from debt collectors, they drove off one night and met with an accident. How could that be my fault? You're lying. You killed them. You were involved with them. How do you know it was me? What kind of society are we living in? You still believe in superstitions. You should read more books, brother. I waved dismissively. Makoto was left speechless. His face flushed red. My mother came out after hearing the commotion. Makoto immediately walked over, looking pitiful. My mother comforted him, gently patting his head, clearly displeased with me. You should keep some distance from us. You wouldn't want to end up killing your own real parents, would you? I saw her protectiveness toward Makoto, and it pierced my heart. I smiled bitterly. These were my family members, and deep down, they probably wished I were dead already. Willow, unable to watch this any longer, spoke to me. Tomorrow, we'll recognize your ancestors. I'll have the clan elders see you, and we'll register your household. As for Makoto, Willow scanned the room. The old patriarch said it himself, he's not a true Lu family member. When he's of age, he'll be given a job opportunity, but he'll be moved out. The people in the room immediately changed their expressions. My father couldn't avoid it any longer and hurriedly ran out. No, Makoto has never suffered. How can you just kick him out? Lu mother, feeling pained at the thought of Makoto leaving, added, yes, you can't kick Makoto out. His parents are dead, where can he go? Lu father frowned, scolding angrily. Willow, you're just an adopted daughter. Who gave you the right to speak for the Lu family? I'm the head of the family, and I won't allow Makoto to leave. Aunt. Makoto panicked, rushing forward to grab Willow's sleeve. We've grown up together. Besides, I'm the Lu family's lucky star. What will happen to the Lu family if I leave? Willow forcefully shook him off and spoke coldly. Lucky star? Is the Lu family still relying on a lucky star to save them? Willow's gaze swept over to my father. Even my identity as an adopted daughter is more useful than all of you. The room fell silent, no one daring to refute, because everything she said was true. At 3 years old, Willow was chosen by the old patriarch of the Lu family from an orphanage. He personally raised her and taught her various skills. Everyone in the Lu family knew she was being groomed as the heir, because aside from her, the rest of the Lu family were either lazy or incompetent. Otherwise, the Lu family wouldn't have ended up in this situation. You should go back to your room and rest. I'll come and get you tomorrow. Willow finished speaking and led the others away. I walked into the room, speaking to the heir. System, you said that after Makoto turns 18, we'll get back on track, right? Won't my unlucky aura really affect them? The system's voice echoed, sounding young and innocent. The good luck Makoto stole from you is gradually returning to you. The bad luck has barely any effect on you anymore, especially since you've done so many good deeds. I breathed a sigh of relief. I took out my phone and replied to all the messages I hadn't responded to earlier. The next day, Willow told me that the clan elders would be coming soon, so I should wait in my room. But it was Makoto who came first. He was holding a bucket, and as he stood in the doorway, he threw it all over me. My whole body instantly became sticky. The air was filled with a rancid smell. I wiped away the liquid that was covering my eyes and touched blood with my hand. Chapter 3. Here, let me give you some black dog blood to ward off the evil spirits. The clan elders are waiting for you, so hurry downstairs. He grinned, waiting to see me embarrass myself. I held back my disgust and pointed to the corner of the room. The moment I moved into this room, I installed a surveillance camera. I said, I shouldn't keep the elders waiting. I'll go down right now. Makoto immediately broke out in a cold sweat. No, you can't go down like this. He originally wanted to make me look bad, but didn't expect me to set up a camera. If I made a scene, the one who would suffer would be him. He gritted his teeth, blocking the door, unwilling to move aside. I couldn't help but smile as I enjoyed watching his reaction. The commotion attracted Willow. Why is it taking you so long to call someone? She impatiently walked upstairs, but was stunned when she saw the scene in front of her. With a swift slap, she struck Makoto across the face, making the pampered young man burst into tears. Willow scolded sharply. If this happens again, you're out of the Lu family. Makoto, feeling wronged, ran out. Over the years, Willow had spoiled him too. Willow, frustrated, pinched the bridge of her nose. Let them wait downstairs. You go take a shower first. I'll have someone send you clean clothes. Makoto has been spoiled by his parents. I apologize to you on their behalf. She bowed to me. I waved it off, saying it was fine, and rushed into the bathroom. When I came out wrapped in a towel, I saw a set of clothes laid out on the table. I opened it to find nothing but tattered cloth strips. I sighed, opened the door, and sure enough, I caught Makoto sneaking around outside. I grabbed him by the arm and dragged him into the room, slamming the door shut behind us. He quickly realized what was happening and began struggling, threatening me. George, how dare you do this to me? Once I tell Mom and Dad, you're dead. I ignored his threats and pushed him to the ground, pinning him down. In terms of strength, he was no match for me. I stripped off his clothes and put them on myself, smiling at him. Thanks for the clothes you brought me. Makoto turned red with rage, his face pale and white as he cursed me incessantly. I pretended not to hear and walked straight downstairs. Downstairs, the people who could still speak for the Lu family were sitting. A middle-aged man snorted. Just have him hand over the inheritance directly. Why should he come back to harm us? Is he trying to ruin the entire Liu family? Willow sat in the main seat, saying nothing. I walked downstairs and met his gaze. Who have I harmed? If you're accusing me, you better have some evidence. The room fell into silence. You've harmed me. Makoto, now in his new clothes, jumped out. As soon as you came back, the chandelier almost killed me. Jinx. He exaggerated the events of yesterday, and everyone around me immediately backed away several meters. I narrowed my eyes, ready to speak, but Willow slammed her hand on the table. Enough. I called you all here to recognize the family members. What are you doing now? I've already looked into the chandelier incident, and it was Makoto's doing. Willow called over the security guard. The guard nervously glanced at Makoto before revealing how Makoto had ordered him to do it and showing proof of the transfer on his phone. Everyone fell silent. I told you, if this happens again, you'll be kicked out of the Liu family. Willow's gaze was cold as she ignored Makoto's pleas and ordered the security to take him away. Makoto can't leave. He just secured a $1 billion investment for the company. Liu family's eldest uncle shouted angrily, rallying the others to protect Makoto. Willow was being subtly threatened by everyone, her clenched fists betraying her inner frustration, but she knew that, for the sake of the Liu family, they had to overcome this immediate crisis. We'll put the ancestral recognition aside for now. Makoto must remain a Liu family member. Starting tomorrow, he'll be the manager of the company. The clan elder made a final decision, ignoring Willow, the head of the Liu family, and spoke directly. Willow didn't argue further. I pulled out my phone and sent a couple of messages. George, you jinx. You should go back to your filthy ditch. It's not that the Liu family doesn't accept you. It's that you're so unlucky. You're no match for me. Makoto smirked, feeling pleased with himself. Suddenly, Willow's phone rang. After answering it, she stood up in shock. What? You're pulling out your investment? Chapter 4. Pulling out the investment. The Liu family is relying on this money to survive the partnership. How can they pull out now? The Liu family members were in despair. If they pull out now, it's the death sentence for the Liu family. Everyone was terrified at the thought of the life they'd have after the Liu family collapsed. Makoto panicked and pointed at me, shouting, "Impossible. It's you. This jinx. You've ruined the Liu family." Willow glanced at Makoto and put the phone on speaker. President Chan's voice came through clearly. I can still collaborate, but is Makoto really a Liu family member? Do you think you can just send anyone to fool me, like I'm doing charity work? I suppressed the smile on my face. Since the system gave me the ability to change bad luck, I had secretly mingled among the rich. Over the years, I had been quietly welcomed into their circles, making more money than I could count. Makoto was thoroughly panicked now, while the others felt conflicted. For all these years, whenever Makoto was involved, the negotiations had always been successful, but for some reason, in the last few years, his influence had been diminishing. I watched Makoto with interest. Aren't you the lucky star? Why can't you save the situation this time? He wanted to retort, but the coldness in Willow's eyes made him shiver. Willow walked out with her assistant. The hall was in chaos. The Liu family is relying on this investment to survive. How could they back out now? As the crowd discussed, Willow's assistant returned with news. Mr. Liu said the issue has been resolved. President Chan will continue the investment, so everyone can rest assured. Makoto wiped the sweat off his forehead. I knew it. As long as Makoto is here, there's no deal we can't close. Makoto is the savior of the Liu family. Willow's position will be yours eventually. The crowd surrounded Makoto, praising him. Forget about the ancestral recognition for now. Tomorrow is Makoto's birthday. We'll talk after the coming-of-age banquet. My father sighed in relief and told everyone to disperse. I found it laughable that they were still thinking about a banquet when their family was about to collapse. But then again, tomorrow was my birthday too. The banquet was extravagant. Makoto, in a suit airlifted for him, stood out in the crowd. Several well-known directors raised their glasses to toast Makoto. Some admired him, and Makoto smugly said, "These directors have all worked with me before. They all begged me to go out and talk business with them. So of course, they came to my birthday." Just then, President Chan, who had recently signed a deal, rushed into the crowd. Makoto walked over. "Thank you, President Chan, for the collaboration. Don't worry, working with the Liu family brings endless benefits." But President Chan slapped Makoto's hand away. "Who are you? I'm not looking for you." The crowd gasped, and Makoto stood in shock. He had never been so disrespected before. Because of his reputation as the lucky star, everyone usually wanted to be connected to him, hoping for their own luck to improve. "I'm looking for George," President Chan shouted. Whispers filled the air. "No way. Isn't Makoto the one everyone collaborates with for his luck? Why is President Chan so dismissive of him? Even if that jinx shows up at the banquet, no one dares to look at him, afraid of bad luck. Why is President Chan?" Makoto barely held back his fury, the wine glass in his hand almost crushing under the pressure. At this moment, I sat in a corner, enjoying a delicate little cake. Makoto's eyes darted around, and he walked over to me with President Chan. Stepping aside himself, he took a sip of wine and, with an air of helplessness, spoke to the crowd. Some people just don't know better, daring to get close to a jinx. You've all seen it. He insisted on coming here, and if something bad happens, don't blame me. Makoto smiled, waiting for the show. The next second, President Chan suddenly thudded to his knees in front of me, tears streaming down his face. Mr. Wang, I invested in the Liu family as per your instructions. Please, save my life. Chapter 5. The crowd was in shock. What the hell? Is this really the President Chan, the richest man in a city? Isn't he always so high and mighty? Hardly anyone ever gets to see him. How come he? Yeah, President Chan doesn't like to go out, and when we talk business, it's always over the phone. But he has personally contacted Makoto before, and Makoto has brought so many resources to the Liu family because of this. But why is it that this time, President Chan doesn't even look at Makoto? Everyone knows Makoto is the lucky star. Everyone has been trying to get close to him. How dare President Chan approach that jinx? Oh my god, isn't he afraid of dying? The crowd was chattering, but everyone only dared to whisper behind their hands. These words entered Makoto's ears like sharp needles, stabbing at his heart. The empty feeling in his chest made him feel like he had lost something. Frowning, he watched the scene unfold, countless thoughts flashing through his mind. Why is President Chan treating this jinx so respectfully? I remained calm, unaffected by what was happening around me. The system had told me to make full use of it to help more people. Although it was a system that brought bad luck, it also had the ability to absorb that misfortune from others. Less bad luck meant more good luck, didn't it? The price I paid was that others' misfortunes would be transferred to me, making me even unluckier. At first, I helped the poor, giving them more chances for a better life. Everything came with a price, and the corresponding cost was my own increasing misfortune. Every time I stepped out, it would rain. I'd step on dog poop, get pickpocketed or mugged, be beaten up because someone mistook me for someone else, or there'd be accidents on any kind of transport. Eventually, I began staying indoors. Later, the system told me that the good luck Makoto had taken from me was slowly returning to me. That's when I started my bigger plan. The first person I approached was actually President Chan. As these people aged, they became more superstitious. I predicted that he would face misfortune like a car breakdown, losing business to rivals, and so on. President Chan tried many methods, even seeking out the rumored Makoto, but Makoto's influence on him was minimal. He had no choice but to believe in me, and I helped him redirect his coming bad luck onto myself. The most severe incident was when I took the hit for a car accident. I was in the hospital for almost half a year before fully recovering. President Chan became even more appreciative of me, sending countless amounts of money my way. Knowing I had needs, he began introducing me to more people. Apart from receiving money, I only had one request for them. That was to keep my identity hidden. And this time, with the system's help, I predicted that President Chan would face a life-threatening crisis. He turned pale with fear and began following my arrangements. I helped the still kneeling President Chan to his feet and thoughtfully handed him a glass of water, saying, "You did well. Don't worry. I can solve this for you." President Chan felt completely at ease and gratefully grasped my hand, repeatedly thanking me. The people in the room were even more confused. Just then, Willow entered. She had been busy securing investments for the Liu family since yesterday, and only now had time to appear. Willow smiled and respectfully brought a few partners to me. George, Mr. Jean and President's son are both willing to invest in the Liu family. They both want to thank you and would like to meet you. As soon as the group saw me, they immediately extended their hands in greeting. They flattered me. "It's an honor to meet you, Mr. Wu." I remained indifferent, used to such social interactions by now. The others were even more baffled, not understanding what was going on with these people. "Ah, you've all been deceived by him. Do you all want to die?" Makoto couldn't sit still any longer. Today was supposed to be his day to shine. He shouted loudly, grabbing a few people standing near me. His shouting made me frown. The people he grabbed scolded him. "Who do you think you are? What are you shouting about?" Makoto's parents hurriedly shielded him, and Willow quickly apologized. "He's a jinx. He'll bring disaster to all of you. I'm saving you." Makoto refused to give up, saying in frustration. I looked at Makoto expressionlessly. "Makoto, don't you know why I'm so unlucky?" Chapter 6. Years ago, Makoto's mother and my mother gave birth in the same hospital. Due to a shortage of available rooms, they ended up sharing one after giving birth. It was during that time that my adoptive parents discovered just how wealthy the Liu family was. They became greedy and swapped the two children. They even secretly emptied their assets and sought out a folk remedy to swap the lives of Makoto and me. I first became unlucky at the age of 6. At that time, I attended a school where many students fell ill and were hospitalized. In fact, many of these incidents couldn't have been connected to me, but my adoptive parents, in an effort to ruin my reputation, intentionally spread rumors about it. Over time, whenever something went wrong for anyone around me, my adoptive parents would jump in and claim it was my fault. Gradually, I began to feel self-conscious and doubt whether I was truly a jinx. For Makoto's sake, they traveled all over the country to pray for him, doing good deeds in his name. The better Makoto's luck, the worse mine became. They tried every means to make their own child's life better, leaving no room for me. But what they didn't realize was that once I became unlucky, the people around me, especially those close to me, were affected too. My adoptive parents regretted it, but it was too late. They could only keep their distance from me. In the end, the Liu family found out about the swapped children. Fearing that Makoto's good fortune would run out, my adoptive parents came up with a plan. They spread the word about my jinx status and the bad things that had happened to me. They also contacted Makoto to create plans for him, utilizing his lucky star identity. At that time, whenever I went outside, people who knew me would send me straight back home. Jinx, how dare you go out? Get back to your house. Keep an eye on that jinx. Don't let him sneak out and cause more trouble. The neighbors formed a little guarding team, fearing that I would go out and bring bad luck to others. At that time, my adoptive parents were busy praying for Makoto, never once thinking about how I was living at home. Eventually, because the door of our house was locked, I couldn't even attend school. Some kind-hearted people tried to help me, calling for official intervention, but as my guardians, my adoptive parents didn't care, and the neighbors, all old folks, were even harder to deal with. Anyone who came to persuade them was either scolded or beaten, and if that didn't work, they would lie down on the floor in protest. Over time, fewer people came to help me, but some still secretly passed food through the window. I was in despair, realizing that my life could go on like this. When the system appeared, the system told me I had a chance to change my fate. It explained why I had suffered so much. Their life swap method doesn't work. You're basically draining their good fortune. As long as you don't give up on yourself, they'll get nothing in return. So, with the system's help, I started learning and helping others in my own way, accumulating good fortune for myself. But my adoptive parents were still helping Makoto. We were like in a tug of war, but Makoto was winning more. For his sake, they had accumulated too much debt and even tried to gamble to make money. In the end, they died in a car accident. As they lay dying, they blamed me for it, still trying to pin everything on me for Makoto's sake. After they died, I escaped from the house that had trapped me for more than 10 years and moved to a small place. The past days had been bitter, but it was okay, because today, the fate I had swapped with Makoto was finally over. He could no longer take anything from me, and the system, the moment I turned 18, disappeared. It told me it was going to help the next person who needed it. I purposely concealed the existence of the system. Then, as if telling a story, I explained everything that had happened. My tone was indifferent, like I was an outsider. There's no such thing as a born jinx or lucky star. It's all just a conspiracy by people with ill intentions. Makoto listened in shock, his face filled with disbelief. You're lying. My parents are dead because of you. Did I harm you, or did you harm me? Chapter 7. I let out a cold laugh and pulled out the evidence of my adoptive parents spreading rumors. They had spent a significant amount of money to tarnish my reputation, and I had the records to prove it. I displayed the evidence on the big screen, ensuring that every guest could clearly see and hear it. The voices of my adoptive parents echoed clearly for everyone to hear. Are we wrong to do this to George? He was only 7 years old. If this reputation is put on him, he'll never be able to study properly. My adoptive father hesitated for a moment, but my adoptive mother quickly slapped him. What nonsense are you talking? Are you feeling sorry for him? Don't forget why I'm doing this. Only by clearing the path for Makoto, removing all obstacles, can he become the heir of the Liu family. At that point, we'll go to him, and we'll live better lives. As for George, it's enough that we leave him alive and let him fend for himself. That's already showing mercy. After my adoptive mother finished speaking, there was a long silence. After some time, my adoptive father finally spoke up. That person said buying internet trolls would cost 50,000. Do it. People around George have already started disliking him. We need to intensify our efforts. My adoptive mother's voice was cold, showing no consideration for a 7-year-old child's future. This audio was given to me by the person my adoptive parents had contacted to hire the internet trolls. Naturally, those in this line of work would keep the most beneficial evidence for themselves. Oh my God, the child swap incident caused a huge stir in a city, and we were all sympathetic toward the Liu family's real son being a jinx. But it turns out it was all part of the conspiracy. So, there's no such thing as bad luck after all. The koi fish luck was fake, and all this time, Makoto has been bragging about how amazing he is. Usually, we had to beg him just to come out and play. I've never liked the way he acted. Turns out, it was all just an act. The guests began speculating, and everyone who disliked Makoto started openly mocking him. How can such a person still stay in the Liu family? Today is his birthday. Right, he's probably about to be kicked out right now. The malicious words made Makoto unable to sit still. He shouted, "Don't listen to him. He killed my parents and is now trying to smear them. Mom, don't believe his words. Compared to the other people's ridicule, Makoto was more afraid of his mother looking at him differently. He turned to his mother, but was shocked to see her already crying, listening to everything. George, it turns out they were the ones who harmed you. The reason I didn't bring you back was because we listened to the wrong people. All these years, we thought that by giving you money, you would have a better life. My adoptive mother couldn't finish her sentence and was choked with sobs. I said faintly, didn't you realize I couldn't even go to school? When you treated Makoto as your own son, spinning around for him every day and treating him like a treasure, I was left alone, with the money already taken by his parents to spread rumors about me. George, I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you from now on. Make it up to me. The people who hurt me the most are dead now, and now there's only Makoto left, occupying my identity. Do you have the heart to kick him out? I looked at my mother with a mocking smile in my eyes. Her expression was conflicted. No. Where can Makoto go? He doesn't have parents anymore. My adoptive mother knew this was unfair to me as she finished speaking. Her evasive gaze made my heart ache. At that moment, my adoptive parents and the rest of the Liu family stepped forward to protect Makoto, preventing him from leaving. The room fell into silence. No one expected things to turn out like this. With the Liu family still protecting Makoto, he has no parents. What about me? The Liu family's actions broke my heart. I thought the foolproof evidence would make them feel some sympathy for me, but in reality, it changed nothing. I forced back my sadness and walked out without looking back. As I left, I saw Makoto surrounded by the Liu family, giving me a smug smile. Chapter 8. I didn't expect Willow to chase after me. Without saying a word, she jumped into my car. Don't worry, Makoto will definitely leave the Liu family. Maybe my expression was too grim, as Willow seemed flustered and began trying to comfort me. I asked her, you've always believed in me. Haven't you ever been afraid of me? Willow smiled brightly and said to me, after the old patriarch realized you were the real child of the Liu family, he had already planned to bring you back. But by then, he was already severely ill, and many in the Liu family were eyeing his position, your father included. He was hospitalized with illness on and off, only able to talk to me when he was conscious. At that time, he knew that even if he brought you back, he couldn't protect you. The people in the Liu family were all too selfish. So he secretly arranged for someone to protect you, sending you supplies. He felt deeply guilty about you, abandoning you for the sake of the Liu family. Before he died, his only request was for me to help you unconditionally. George, I know your story, and I don't believe that such bizarre things exist in the world. It's all about what you do. You've done well today. Willow's smile lifted the clouds of doubt and sorrow in my heart. I looked at her intently, suddenly reminded of the kind person who secretly passed me food through the window when I was a child. So it was someone my grandfather had arranged. Though I appear to be in charge of the Liu family, they all want me to step down. The biggest problem is that the Liu family is fragmented, with a huge gap in power. George, don't worry. I can make sure Makoto leaves. The suffering you've gone through will never happen again. Willow looked at me seriously, speaking each word with care. The dark circles under her eyes told me that she had been busy handling the Liu family's affairs during her absence. I pulled out a card and placed it in her hand. You've done enough. You're the only one who's never shown disdain toward me. This card has enough money to help the Liu family through this crisis. Willow, let's work together to create a brand new Liu family. In Willow's wide, disbelieving eyes, I saw a reflection of myself. Willow, excited, left after discussing the current situation of the Liu family with me. After saving the Liu family from danger, she did something that shocked every member of the Liu family. She fired everyone else in the Liu family except for herself. The Liu family had been filled with parasites who only knew how to indulge themselves. It was high time they left. The second thing Willow did was force Makoto to leave. After all, he was now an adult and could live on his own. Someone was dissatisfied and barged into Willow's office. It was my cousin, in name only. Without hesitation, he pointed at Willow and cursed. You ungrateful wretch, the Liu family raised you all these years, and now you want to take the whole Liu family for yourself. What right do you have? You're just an orphan. You're not even a true member of the Liu family. You still want to sit in the Liu family's chairman's seat. Get out of here. My cousin was furious. He hadn't received a single thing from Grandpa's estate, and now he was being kicked out of the company, without the company's dividends. How could he continue to live his lavish lifestyle and show off? As the insults flew, the eyes of the other employees all turned to Willow. Willow clenched her fists, biting her lip to hold back her emotions. Because my cousin wasn't wrong, she was just an orphan, fortunate enough to have been adopted by the old patriarch. Many people doubted her status. Because of this, her path within the Liu family had been especially difficult. Well then, what about me? The one who holds half of Grandpa's estate and has the Liu family blood running through my veins. Do I not have the right? I pushed my cousin aside and, in front of everyone, walked over and embraced Willow. Willow blushed, but didn't pull away. I'm sure I have the right to sit in the Liu family chairman's seat, but honestly, I'd rather leave the company to Willow. She's far more capable than I am. My cousin was so furious he could barely speak. He stared at us for a long time before continuing. Stop daydreaming. What do you think you are? A Liu family member? No one's seen Grandpa's will, and he never met you. How could he have really given you half of his fortune? He sneered, completely unwilling to believe the rumors about the will. I shook my head in mock pity, then took out a document. Sorry to disappoint you, but I actually have Grandpa's will. Chapter 9. At the time, Willow had been pushed into the position of chairman while the old patriarch was still alive. After the old patriarch passed away, people in the Liu family began to feel discontented and tried everything they could to force Willow to step down. Willow had kept suppressing them with the old patriarch's will, but the Liu family suddenly claimed they had never seen the will and refused to believe Willow. This made Willow feel quite troubled. Unexpectedly, the will ended up in my hands. You bunch of idiots. You have no ability, yet you dream big to prevent the Liu family from falling into your hands. Grandpa had already found me long ago. I sighed. At that moment, my parents heard the commotion at the company and showed up here as well. I thought they were here to fight for their share of the Liu family's assets, but it turned out they came for Makoto. George. Makoto has been gone for more than half a month. He has nowhere else to go. You already have the Liu family. Why do you still have to push him out? I could hardly believe my ears. After Makoto was kicked out of the house, I didn't go home either. I stayed with Willow, handling matters at the company. But after Makoto left, my parents secretly gave him a large sum of money. The money was enough for an average person to live on for a lifetime. But for Makoto, it wasn't enough. He spent it recklessly, still thinking of himself as the celebrated lucky star. At first, some company executives believed in him and tried to reach out to him, but soon realized it was pointless. And after the incident at the banquet, Makoto's reputation only worsened in the circle. My mother came forward in tears, grabbing my hand. George, please, let Makoto go. He won't compete with you for the Liu family. Just let him come back. I'll take care of him for the rest of his life, and I promise I won't bother you. The warmth from her hand spread to mine. It felt so warm, yet it made me feel as cold as winter. I bitterly pulled my hand away and said, Mom, I'm your son. With those words, I turned my back to her and didn't look at her again. My mother wobbled, realizing my resolve. She knew I wouldn't soften. Suddenly, a harsh voice rang out behind me, a voice I recognized. Go to hell. Why did you come back? A cold light flashed, and before I could react, Willow quickly pulled me aside. It was Makoto. I had no idea where he had come from, but he was holding a fruit knife and glaring at me with malice. His clothes were disheveled, and he looked like he hadn't properly cared for himself for days. Because Willow pulled me away in time, he didn't manage to strike. When he tried again, I rushed forward and kicked him in the leg, snapping it. He collapsed to the ground, cursing. Why won't you die? I exhaled with lingering fear. Willow frowned, standing in front of me, with a cold expression. She called for security, ignoring my mother's cries as she had Makoto sent to the police station. Because he failed and my parents vouched for him, Makoto was soon released. I no longer cared about these things. I moved out of the Liu family house and focused on managing the company with Willow. The Liu family got better and better. Though the former Liu family members still tried to cause trouble, I had security arrangements in place to send them away. Later, I heard that Makoto was stopped by a man he had once looked down on while walking down the street. The men mocked him a few times, and Makoto pulled out a knife he had been carrying and stabbed the man in the chest. Makoto had completely lost his mind. He couldn't accept the strange looks from others as he walked the streets. He couldn't accept being left with nothing. In the end, he was sentenced to life imprisonment for intentional injury. I heard this news just after I had proposed to Willow. We moved out of the Liu family house and bought a home that was just for the two of us. From here on out, our lives would only get better.